Golden Trio era, that, yeah, I get it. But let's talk about Marauders era. Let's begin. Hello! This is gonna be quite the ride, so get buckled up, get strapped in, because we're gonna be here for a while. Today, I will be convincing you to become a Marauders fan, as you can tell by the titles of this video. I will be taking this very seriously. Let's just get right into it. First off, let's start out with the Harry Potter franchise. I'm pretty sure all of you have heard about this. It's about a boy named Harry who finds out he's a wizard, and he goes to this magical school named Hogwarts School for Witchcraft and Wizardry.
Staying the Lulu is the Solulu.
From the ages of 11 and 17. And throughout those 7 years, he goes on many different adventures with his two best friends, Hermione and Ron. And those guys really go through it, okay? I'm sure you guys all know. But Golden Trio era this, Golden Trio era that. Yeah, I get it. But let's talk about Marauders era, because if it wasn't for them, Harry Potter wouldn't even be alive right now. So like, let's put some respect on their names, okay?
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
Let's first start off with the most obvious of the two Marauders. James Potter and Lily Evans. Hi, this is me editing. I would just like to say that all the fan art I'll be using in this is all credited to Like a Funeral, who was the original creator of all of it. Their fan art is so beautiful and it's everywhere that you search up Marauders, so of course it had to be the fan art that I used. We're gonna use her maiden name because she's an independent, powerful woman. James Potter, as you can guess, is Harry Potter's dad. Lily Evans is Harry Potter's mom. Two of these other people are fan favorites in the movies and in the books. Their names are Remus John Lupin and Sirius Orion Black. My precious little babies, I love them to death. And then the rat is there. All jokes aside, I actually love pre-traitor Peter like so much. Like, I would die for him. He's so precious. We have Peeta Pettigrew, and the four of them make up the original Marauders. If you guys remember the Marauders map that gets introduced in Prisoner of Azkaban, I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. Misters Moony, Wormtail, Patfoot, and Prongs. That's the four of them. Moony is Remus, Wormtail is Peter, Patfoot is Sirius, and Prongs is James, and I will explain why they use those names specifically to refer to themselves. So, Remus Lupin is a werewolf, which means that every full moon he turns into a werewolf unwillingly. So his nickname is Moony because werewolves come out during the full moon. And then we have Wormtail because Peter's animagus is a rat, and when you have an animagus, that means you can turn into that animal willingly. So everyone in the friend group is an animagus except for Remus because he can't turn into a werewolf willingly. It's something that happens every full moon and he has no control over it. And then we have Padfoot, which is Sirius, and Sirius's animagus is a dog, so he turns into a black dog like whenever he wants, like on his own will. And then last but not least, we have James, whose animagus is a stag, so his name is Prongs because stags have like those little like prong things, and that's that. So that's like the main four Gryffindor girlies, the main Marauders. But then if you get more into the fandom, you'll learn about like other characters from that time period that are also friends with them. That also leads us to the Earls in the Gryffindor Marauders, and those would be Marlene McKinnon, Mary McDonald, and of course Lily Evans. Oh, my girlies, I love them so much. And then we have our Slytherin Skittles. The Slytherin Skittles have like a very special place in my heart. First off, we have Sirius Black's younger brother, Regulus Arcturus Black. If you guys are familiar with like the Harry Potter franchise, you will know that Regulus Black gave up his life to make sure that Voldemort wouldn't find one of the 7 Horcruxes, Salazar Slytherin's locket. I would like to clarify, what I said in this video is wrong. He didn't try to hide it from Voldemort, he tried to destroy the Horcrux. He went to the cave and he drowned to make sure that Voldemort would never get it. And he died thinking that Sirius hated him. Anyway, our other Slytherin Skittles, we have Pandora Lovegood, who is Luna Lovegood's Mother. Luna Lovegood is my favorite character from the Golden Trio era, so Pandora is automatically one of my favorite characters from the Marauders era. I like to say that although Pandora is a part of the Slytherin Skittles gang, her house isn't actually Slytherin. She's in Ravenclaw, but she hangs out with the Slytherin Skittles a lot, so she's an honorary member. And then we also have Barty Crouch Jr., who you'll learn more about in like the Goblet of Fire. He's also part of their little Slytherin gang. So we have Evian Rosier. I have no clue why I pronounce his name like that. It's pronounced Evan Rosier, not Evian Rosier. I was just so excited that I was talking about my Slytherin Skittles, so I pronounced his name wrong by accident. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Who is mentioned in the Goblet of Fire. I love him so much. There's like a little headcanon that Pandora and Evan are twins. I haven't really explored that part of the fandom that much, but it sounds interesting. And then, last but not least, we have... I have simped so hard for this girl ever since I've joined this fandom. Her name is Dorcas Meadows. She deserved that. Literally, she was so powerful that Voldemort himself had to take her down. We love a girl boss. I think that's all of them. If you want to like go explore more of the side of like the Black family, like Sirius and Regulus and their whole backstory, I could talk about them for hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades, centuries. Okay, sorry. Sirius and Regulus come from an abusive household. Their parents are Walburga and Orion Black. That's what I feel like doing to them. And we're not going to talk about that right now because I'm going to get too emotional. Now, let's get into the ships. Oh my god. Oh my god. Also, everyone in the Marauders era, they're all gay. There isn't a single straight person in sight. Like, heterosexuality is non-existent, okay? They're all as gay as a maypole. Sorry, I had to throw in that Red, White, and Royal Blue reference. Okay, so first off, we're gonna start with like the OG Marauders ship, and that's gonna be Sirius and Remus. Their ship name is Wolfstar. They bring me so much comfort and joy. They mean so much to me. The angst really angsts with those two, you know? Because not only did Remus lose Sirius during the prank. Wait, I need to explain the prank. Okay, so basically the prank, it was all Sirius's idea, and he tells Severus, Professor Snape, to go to this cave, but he tells him to go to that cave because it's the night of the full moon, which means, you guessed it, Remus is going to turn into a werewolf. So he tells Severus to go to the cave where Remus is going to turn into a werewolf, and then he sees Remus as a werewolf. I forgot to say this while I was filming, but I feel like it's an important detail. So the reason why Sirius planned the prank in the first place is because the Marauders are not the biggest fans of Severus, and when I say not the biggest fans, I mean that they bully him. Sirius tells Severus to go there in hopes that Remus will hurt him when he's in his werewolf form, and that's why Remus is so mad at Sirius when he finds out that he's the one that planned it, because Remus is so scared of himself in werewolf form, and he's so scared of hurting someone, and Sirius almost let that happen. And then once Remus finds out that Sirius was the one who planned the prank, it's this whole thing. Oh my god. Like, they don't talk to each other for like months. And then we have the whole betrayal thing with Peter ratting out where James and Lily lived and then Voldemort killing them, and how like Sirius was framed for that, and so he went to Azkaban for 12 years, and then Remus had to spend all those years alone without any friends or family, and then they get reunited post Azkaban during like the Prisoner of Azkaban era, and then we all know Sirius dies in the Order of the Phoenix, gut-wrenching, heart-stopping, throwing up, sobbing, crying in the corner of the bathroom, and then Remus dies. But I still love them, okay? Because, like, look at this fan art, okay? Just look at it. One thing about this fandom is that the fan art is the most beautiful stuff I've ever seen on the internet. So that's Wolfstar. Next, we have my personal favorite, because I am a Regulus Kinney. Next, we have Jegulus. They're also known as Star Chaser, and they're also known as Sunkeeper. I mean, Just the ship names alone are beautiful. Like, how can you not love them? And this involves Regulus Arcturus Black and James Fleamont Potter. Okay, first off, let's start off with the fact that Sirius ran away from home and Regulus stayed at home, so we know that there's tension between the two brothers, and the fact that James has a crush on his best friend's brother, but he knows that he has to keep it a secret because Sirius is going to be so upset if he finds out. Lives were changed, okay? Lives were changed. Lives were changed. Secret romance? Secret romance. Sneaking around the castle together? The astronomy tower? Like, are you joking me? The angst once Regulus dies, and James will like never love anyone like he loved Regulus ever again in his life, ever. Goodbye, I'm out. I could talk about Regulus for forever. They mean so much to me. If you really get into the Marauders fandom, we'll start reading fan fiction. Let me tell you, the Regulus fanfiction on Archive of Our Own, that deserves to be like #1 New York Times best-selling author stuff, because who allowed these people to write most eloquent words about fictional gay wizards? Like, who gave them the right? Who gave them the permission to do that? Not me, but I'm glad that someone else did, because that's my entire personality now. And I'm sure if you're somewhat in the Marauders fandom already, you've heard of the fanfiction Crimson Rivers. Let me tell you, my life is divided into 2 parts. Before and after I read Crimson Rivers. Life-changing, the best literature I've ever read in my life, and I've read a lot of fanfiction, a lot of books by #1 New York Times bestselling authors. Nothing compares to this. Zeppazariel was on crack when he wrote that. That fanfiction is my religion, okay? My religion. So basically, Crimson Rivers, it's a Hunger Games AU, but instead of Katniss and Peeta, it's James and Regulus. As a Regulus stan and a B, Hunger Games stan, I read that book like it was water and I was in a dry, hot desert. Okay, next we have Rose Killer. Oh my god. Rose Killer involves Evan and Barty from the Slytherin Skittles gang. Let me tell you, their relationship is so like, don't blame me, love made me crazy. If it doesn't, you ain't doing it right. Lord save me, my drug is my baby. I will use him for the rest of my life. Like, they are so reputation coded, it's unreal. Okay. Next we have Dorleen, which is Marlene McKinnon and Dorcas Meadows. Every time I read fanfiction with them in it, I become the gayest person alive. Every time I read Dorleen fanfic, it makes me think that I might be lesbian and not bi. But then I read Wolfstar fanfic and I start simping for Sirius because I'm a Remus Kinney and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely bi. Oh my god. Just from my reaction alone, you can tell how good the ship is. So like, go read that Dorleen fanfic. Is that everyone? I think those are like my like top 4 ships. There's definitely like other ones, like there's so many. But yeah, next we are going to talk about the fan fiction. So I already mentioned Crimson Rivers by Zeppazariel. That's one of the most popular Marauders fanfictions. It is Regulus centric, but all of the other Marauders are like integral characters, the part of the plot and stuff. So there's also Wolfstar in that, there's also Dorleen in that. There is minor Dorlily, which is Dorcas and Lily, but it's like really casual and stuff. Dorlily is also like a really good ship, like if you're into that like academic rivals to lovers, like sneaking around, pretending that you guys hate each other in public, but like making out in private. That's the Dorlily vibes. You can't be a Marauders fan without the fan fiction. They come hand in hand. So you have Crimson Rivers. Honestly, all of Zeppazariel's work is so beautiful, but he recently removed all of his stuff from Archive of Our Own because people weren't following his instructions on not like reprinting it and stuff, because like, respect the author's decision, but people don't know what that means, so he just like removed all his works. And he said he's probably gonna put them back up soon, but he's not sure when. A lot of the Marauders fanfic that's like really popular is written by Zeppazariel, so if you're gonna join the Marauders fandom now, you're gonna miss out on a lot, but there's still a lot of other like great fanfic. There's Art Heist Baby, which I have not read yet, but I'm pretty sure it's Regulus centric because I am a Regulus stan first and foremost. It's about stealing a painting but I know it has a really sad ending. I know how it ends. And there's this thing about orange muffins. It's this whole thing. Oh my god. Yeah, and then there's also Choices by Messermoon, I think, which I have not read, but it's on my list. I haven't read it because I know I'm gonna cry when I read it. This is also another Jegulus-centric fanfic, but this one is like canon compliant, I think. All of the other fanfics that I mentioned are AUs, but Choices actually like takes place in Hogwarts. It deals with like James and Regulus sneaking around and like Regulus dying in 6th year and stuff like that. What other fanfic is there? I'm trying to think of the good ones. There's a bunch of band AUs. Sirius is the vocalist and Remus is the guitarist. Those are really good. I could like binge read like a bunch of those like band AU one-shots in like an entire day and I wouldn't get bored. So that's on fanfic. Next is fan casts. So let's start off with James. There's like any different fan casts for each character, but I'm going to talk about the most popular ones. I might mention more than one fan cast for one character because I think there's like several people that could fit that one character in like different scenarios. Like for example, one really popular Marauders fanfiction, which basically started the entire like Marauders fandom, is All the Young Dudes by Miss Kingbean. There's a fan theory that Miss Kingbean is actually Taylor Swift because a bunch of Taylor songs fit too well with Marauders. That fanfiction is regular Marauders in Hogwarts. It follows them through all of their years at the school and stuff. I haven't read it because I don't have the time or dedication for that right now, nor do I have the time to cry over it right now, so I'm not gonna start it until I'm emotionally ready. My fan cast for All the Young Dudes, James, is Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Literally just died dead.
But my fan cast for like Jegulus James, for like Jegulus fanfic like Crimson Rivers, is Ricky DeVock.
Literally just died dead.
Okay, next we have Sirius. The most popular fan cast for Sirius is Mr. Ben Bones.
Literally just died dead.
Mr. Ben Barnes. And then the fan cast for Remus is Andrew Garfield.
Literally just died dead.
There's this one photo of Ben Barnes and Andrew Garfield hugging.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Let me tell you, the Wolfstar girlies, me included, we live off of that photo. We feed on it like it's our last supper. I don't know the actor's name for the Peter fan cast, but I will put a picture of him here. He just has that like cunning, mischievous look in his gaze. It's giving rat that rats out his best friends. So that's the Peter fan cast. I'm gonna try and name the fan cast that I like actually know like the names of the people. I think the last one that I know like the name of the person is Timothy Chalamet for the fan cast as Regulus Black.
Let me tell you, this man 100% knows that he's the fan caster for Regulus Black because there's no reason for him to be wearing a Slytherin sweater and to be sitting in a body of water in a cave for him not to know. And he knows that we know that he knows, and he'll never let us live it down.
Let me tell you, this is the most perfect fan cast I've ever seen. Like, people will argue about like all the other fan casts. I've never seen a single person argue that Timothy Chalamet is not the perfect Regulus, because he is. He is. And he knows, because he posts like videos and photos of him on his stories, like swimming in the pool, hanging out in a cave, and I'm like, girl, you need to stop playing around because you know what you're doing. He knows that he is Regulus and he is proud and unashamed. Oh, and then the fan cast for Pandora Lovegood is Elle Fanning. I think the fan cast for Barty, the one that I've seen, is just the guy that plays him in the movies, David Tennant. He's just perfect as Barty.
Literally just died dead.
There is this other guy though that I've seen as a fan cast for Barty. I don't know what his name is though.
Literally just died dead.
And then all the other ones, I don't know their names, but I can like visualize them in my mind. Bro, I wanted this to be like a short, simple, quick, easy video to make you guys like fall in love with the Marauders, but I think it's probably gonna be like 20-ish minutes long. So I'm sorry in advance, but honestly, I'm not sorry because I genuinely hope this convinced you guys to become Marauders fans. This fandom has changed my life for the better, even though I like cry every time I see an edit on TikTok. It's worth it. It's honestly so much fun. The people are so nice, and I am not a normal person anymore, because who hyperfixates on dead gay wizards and is still a normal person living a normal life? It just doesn't work out. This is my entire personality, guys, if you couldn't tell. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this convinced you guys to be a part of the Marauders fandom. You will not regret it. It is so much fun. Like, why read regular books by like regular people when you could read Marauders fanfic and become absolutely insane? Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
Yeah!